What's up, guys? How's it going? Today I want to talk about the PlayStation 5 DualSense controller. Now, a couple days ago, Jeff Keighley over on IGN did a about 30-minute live stream on the DualSense controller. As you can see, I got it pulled up right here. And I watched this entire live stream, and I want to talk about this controller, because this controller looks really impressive. I was actually really impressed with what Jeff Keighley was talking about with this controller, with the analog stick, like the L2 R2, the analog stick, the L2 R2, the trigger buttons, how they will have tension if you're like throwing a bow, or if you're playing like Call of Duty and you're shooting, you can tell when you need to reload because it will like click or something. It sounds fantastic. I kind of want to go over how impressive it actually looked. And is it something that we need? Is this controller here something that we need? Is this what we're missing in gaming to make our gaming experience more immersive? That is the question, and I want to kind of break that down. So right now in front of me, I have this generation's controllers. All three of this current generation's controller. I have my PS4 controller. I have my Xbox One Elite controller. And I have my Nintendo Switch Pro controller. These are actually, and to be honest with you, if you want me to be real talk, this is the most comfortable controller. That's right. The Nintendo Switch Pro controller is actually the more comfortable controller for me. Now, again, everybody's hands are different. So, what like some people might think, I know a lot of people think that the Xbox One controller is the most comfortable controller ever. To me, it's not really that comfortable. It does feel good, but there's just something about it does not feel anywhere as comfortable as my Switch Pro controller. And I still always loved the PS4 controller. I think PlayStation really nailed their controller with this controller. This controller feels comfortable. My fingers are right where they need to be with the analog stick. So now we get to the DualSense, the PlayStation 5 DualSense. And do we need this type of controller? That is the question. And again, it's very impressive. I do like the layout of it. Don't know if I like the white and black. It does look clean. But as long as it is comfortable, I'm happy with that. It looks like they kept the same triggers or analog sticks here. It looks like they kept the same analog sticks, and I really liked how it curves. And believe it or not, it does look very similar to the Switch Pro controller. If you look at it, look at that. They look very similar in the way they are shaped, more so than the Xbox or PlayStation 4 controller. And he started doing a lot of things with this thing. He was playing the Astro demo, and he's like, well, when you're on sand, it kind of feels like you're on sand, and you kind of hear the crickles in the speakers, and the triggers have active feedback and all that stuff, which is all great, right? But here's the thing. Yes, it sounds very impressive, and I liked how he said that it's gonna have like these rumbles all over it, right? Like the special like feedback all over the controller, so the rumbles aren't just gonna be in the handles like they are with the other controllers, right? Like they're not gonna just be in the handles. You're gonna feel the rumble. Nintendo did the HD rumbles where they had like the little motors in here, and it works so the HD rumble actually feels like stuff, because when you use the Joy-Cons, it can feel like a balls in the Joy-Con or something. So the HD rumble worked really well. So now PlayStation is taking that one step further, and they're doing like this immersive thing where it'll give you different tension and feedback all over the controller, and you will feel that all over the controller. Okay, that's all great. That's absolutely great. But my question to you guys is this something that we absolutely need? Like PlayStation, I'm happy that you went out of your way to make this a very immersive controller and whatnot. Here's my personal opinion. I love this controller. I really love this controller. Never once did this speaker mean anything to me. I don't need this speaker. Every once in a while, it'd be kind of cool when I'm playing a game like Uncharted or something, and it'll speak out. That's okay. Wow. Okay, cool. I don't need it though. This stupid light bar, I hated this damn thing. Right? I hate this damn thing. A lot of people put stuff over it so they don't have to see it, and it just kills your controller faster. This is my thing with PlayStation. All right, look at this controller. We got the blue lights. We got this like rumbles all over, active triggers, and all this stuff, right? But what's the battery life going to be on this thing? The battery life on this thing is awful. The PlayStation has the worst battery life on any controller I've ever played. I charge this thing up once every 3 months. This thing I barely have to charge up. This is about like the Pro controller. I put this thing on a charger, it's good for like 3 months. This thing, I charge it, play like Ghost of Tsushima, and it's dead by the end of it. And that's only like a 2-hour playthrough. And it's like, boom, it's dead. It stayed charged very well when I first got my PlayStation, but, it just dies after a while. It has horrible battery life, And then we're talking about a controller like this that's going to have, rumbles all over and active feedback and blue lights. Like, how long do you think that thing's going to stay charged? Me, personally, here's the thing. Yes, this controller is very, very impressive, right? I'm not even going to talk about, I'm not even going to doubt that. It's very, very impressive. But I would much prefer a controller that has great battery life, maybe do something like with the Pro controller here. How about you give us some triggers here so we can have better triggers, or maybe some back paddles, or maybe some program features. How about you do something more for the gamer instead of giving us this immersive feeling? And look, if you wanted to release like a DualSense, you could have done that like in the aftermarket. Like, hey, we're doing this DualSense here, guys. You can pick this up, $80 here, pick it up, and then just do a DualShock 5 and make a DualShock 5 like this, but with, triggers that you can adjust, just like the Pro controller. You can adjust that, or the Elite controller rather. Maybe a couple back buttons, get rid of the light bar, and make this better battery life. If you would have done a DualShock 5 with the same type of look, give it the white and black color scheme like the DualSense here, and do the triggers like you can with the Elite controller. Put a couple back buttons in there, make it a little bit programmable, get rid of the speaker, and have like a legit gaming controller. Because I will tell you this, coming from a gamer, gamers don't really care about the active feedback and the immersive experience of your bow cracking when you go to shoot it in Horizon. Gamers really don't care about that. And a lot of the hardcore gamers, to be real with you, shut off all rumble features when they play. When Call of Duty players play, and Fortnite players play, and Apex players, and all these hardcore gamers play their games, they shut off the rumble feature. Because when you're getting shot, the rumble feature actually prevents you from getting that clear shot and taking out your enemy. So if you're running and you're being tagged, right, the rumble feature is actually going to prevent you from getting that kill. So a lot of hardcore gamers take away the rumble feature. Yes, this is a very, very impressive controller, right? I'm not doubting that one bit. Very, very impressive controller. I loved everything that Jeff Keighley showed us in this little live stream. It's just, I think it's a little, what's the word? Not unwarranted. I think it's a little unnecessary, let's say. This feels like something Nintendo would come out with, right? Nintendo comes out with like, oh my god, we got this weird controller and it's crazy and it does all this, and this. It's like, okay, do we need all that though? Do we need that as a gamer? Like, I know I got probably a bunch of people watching already hitting the down button, dislike button, and leaving their negative comments. And all I'm saying is, it's very impressive. No one's denying that. I'm not denying that. I'm pretty sure you guys watching are not going to sit there and look at this video, this live stream by Jeff Keighley, and say that this controller does not look impressive. I love the way the controller looked. It actually grew on me, right? I didn't like this controller at first. I'm like, man, this is a really weird looking controller. It looks like, the Avengers are going into the quantum zone, the quantum realm. But it grew on me. I like the way it looks, and it fits the system. My point is, no matter how impressive it is and all the features that it does, at the end of the day, I just want a controller that I press the buttons and play the game. I do like the share feature. They call it something different now. I think it's called like the create button. You have your touchpad, which, oh, by the way, guys, this touchpad, yay. How many times do we use this fucking touchpad? You know, I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima right now. Every time I say it, I call it something different. Ghost of Tsushima. You know, but I'm playing that right now, and you got to keep like swiping to see where your wind's going, so you know where to go. It's so annoying. Like, just give me a button to press. But yeah. But for real though, when was the last time we used the touchpad for anything? And then like the motion, like, oh my god, I can't fall off. No, and then it was like it's. All these special features, if the gaming companies that are making the games aren't using these special features, these controllers are irrelevant, you know? And yes, the DualSense 5 looks impressive, but how many third-party companies are going to go and go, hey guys, just to let you know, when we do Call of Duty 27 next year, we have to make sure we have the active feedback, and I just don't see it happening. It'll be much more practical, I think the word is I'm looking for, if they would just make a controller like their DualShock, call it the DualShock 5, add trigger buttons in the back, trigger stops, so we can get those triggers to go midway. Like, you could choose, you want full range or you want medium range, right? That would be impressive. And then maybe a couple mappable buttons in the back of the controller. That's what gamers want, you know? I think it would have been much more practical if you just would have done DualShock 5 with those triggers, with the back buttons, and then kept everything else pretty much the same, change the color scheme if you want. That's just really my thoughts on it. I know I kind of talked about this for a while, and I can't wait to actually get hands-on myself with the DualSense 5 and actually see, because maybe when I get it in my hands, I'll be like, oh no, this is actually really good. You know, if the sound and the motion and everything, it feels fantastic, and that's true. But at the end of the day, as gamers, we have to look at this, and is this something that we're going to need going forward, right? Is the DualSense 5 going to enhance our gameplay later on, like a year from now? Yes, like I remember when the HD Rumble came out, it was like, oh my god, this thing is amazing. A year from now, we all forget about it. A lot of people, again, shut the Rumble feature off if they can, because it kills battery life. So anyway, I don't know. I've been talking for way too long about a controller that I haven't even touched yet, but I seen that live stream by Jeff Keighley, and I really wanted to talk about it. But I want to know what you guys think. I know a lot of you guys are like me, and we're going to be trying to get the PlayStation 5, and I just kind of want to talk about the controller, because although I do think it's very impressive looking, I do think at the end of the day it might be a little unpractical. But what do you guys think? Be sure to leave your comments in the comment box below. Be sure to hit that like. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber to the channel, guys. If you want more exclusive content, hit that join button. And until next time, as always, I am Robert Storms, and that is my opinion.